So Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Welcome to Temple Aliyah. Such a pleasure to be able to share with you all those of you who are present here in our congregation. We appreciate you wearing masks and adhering to all of the regulations of the County of Los Angeles. And those of you who are watching from home and who couldn't be here, wherever you are, you're part of our experience of Shabbat, of celebrating Joshua Fetter's bar mitzvah. Let's hear it for Joshua. Woohoo! Now, by the way, you need to know that they're so excited. Just the first time they've been out of the house in 15 months. I mean, that's really what it's about. So we're just so pleased in this Fetter family to be able to share another Simcha together. And Mincha Shabbat, by the way, we have Saturday afternoon Shabbat services when we read Torah. That's giving the opportunity to have a bar bat mitzvah as Joshua will read Torah for us in just a little bit. And those of you, some of you are wearing talitot out there. Talit we wear in the morning specifically, unless you're going to come up in the afternoon for something with the Torah service itself, and then customary to wear a talit. So you'll see some of us wearing a talit and not others. Chazan, let's just give them a feeling of welcome and how blessed it is to share together.
Let's do a song we all know. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom. Hine ma tovu manahim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tovu manahim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov, hine ma tov. Ya la 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 la. Hine ma tov, hine ma tov. Ya la 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 la. Hine ma tovu manahim, shevet achim gam yachad.
For those of you following at home and those of you here, the Siddur, the Lev Shalem, the small of the red books, our Mincha service, page 214. Joshua, you're going to come up here, please, over there. Once you're up here, you can take off. Yeah, bring your prayer book with you, right over there. Page 214, you know this one. It's Ashrei. All right, make sure those microphones in front of you. You can take off that mask completely. Go ahead, just take it off. Relax. Should we do our deep breathing exercises right now? There we go. All right. Page 214. And then we're going to respond. Those of you who know the responses of the psalm, we encourage you to join along with us. Just bring the microphones in front of you, make sure. There you go. All right, you start us off, Josh.
Ashrei yoshvei ve'techa od yahalelu ha'sela.
Ashrei am shekacha lo, Ashrei am she'Adonai Elohav.
Tehillah leDavid. Aromim ha'Elohai ha'melech, v'havar hashim ha'leolam va'ed.
Bechol yom avorchecha, v'lashimcha le'olam va'ed.
Gadol Adonai umhulol me'od, v'ligdulato ein hecher.
Dor l'dor shemach ma'asecha, u'gvurotecha yagidu.
Hadar kevod hodecha, v'divrei niflotecha asiha.
Ve'zuz norotecha yomeru, u'gdulatecha asaprena.
Zecher rav tuvcha yabiu, v'zidkatecha yeradenu.
Chanun v'rachum Adonai, erecha hayim u'gedol chesed.
Tov Adonai lakol, v'rahamav al kol ma'asav.
Yoducha Adonai kol ma'asecha, v'chasidecha yivorechucha.
Kevod malchutecha yomeru, ugvurachtecha yedaberu.
Lo di livnei hadam gvurotav, v'kavod hadar malchuto.
Malchuteha malchut kol olamim, umemshalteha behol dor vador.
סומך אדוני לכל הנופלים, וזוקף לכל הכפופים.
Einehol Eloha Yisaberu, ve'ata noten lahem et ochlam be'ito.
פותח את ידיך ומצביע לכוחך הרצון.
Tzadik Adonai bechol derahav, ve'hasid bechol ma'asav.
קרוב עיני לכל קורב, לכל אשר יקראו באמת.
Retzon Yerav Ya'aseh, ve'et Shabbatam Yishma v'yoshiem.
שומר עיני כל אוהביו, וכל הרשעים ישמיד.
Tehilat Adonai Yidaber Pi, Vivarech Kol Basar Shem Kocho Leolam Va'et, Va'anachnu Nevarech Yah, Me'ata Be'ad Olam, Hallelujah.
Yasher Koach, you can go back to your seat. Page 217, you'll find the Chatzi Kaddish Chazan Stein.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, ועומד יברח חירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון וביומכון, ובחיי דכל בית ישראל, בעגלה בעגלה, ובזמן קריב במרו אמן, יהי שמי רבם מבורך, לעלם לעלמי עלמיה, יתברך וישתבח, ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתעלה, שמי דקודשם ברכו לעילה, מן כל ברכתה בשירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, יאמירן בעלמה במרו amen.
We're going to take out the Torah, and we're going to call forward Brandon. Is Brooke, did she make it yet? Oh, Brooke, just perfect timing, you. You're going to come up and open up the ark, if you will. Just drop everything there and come up with Brandon. Come on, you two. Right, perfect timing. And as the ark is opened, come on up. Oh, we're going to get her set. I'm going to ask those of you here to rise as we're going to open up the ark. And it's at Chazan Mimi who's opening this up for us.
Shlosha devarim, shlosha devarim, shlosha devarim, ha'olam omed, shlosha devarim, shlosha devarim, shlosha devarim, ha'olam omed, ha'torah ve'ala avodah ve'al gemilut chasadim, ha'torah ve'ala avodah ve'al gemilut chasadim.
All right, you may be seated. I promise you wouldn't be in those prayer books a very long time. I'm going to fulfill that promise. We're shifting now to the larger. You're all ready, sir. I see that. You got them both there. All right. So we're going to go to the larger ones, the Torah text itself, where the Torah reading you'll find page 816. Those of you at home, if you have one of ours, the Torah scrolls, or books rather, you'll find it on page 816. If not, open up any Bible and you can find Numbers, chapter 8, verse 1 is where we're going to start. Josh is going to talk a little bit about the portion later. And Josh, you know this, that they've been at Mount Sinai now for about a year, the Israelites, and they're just about to leave, right? And in fact, in the portion, I don't think you make mention of this, there's actually some of the well-known portions that we have where, like Vayehi ben Soah, Haron, Vayomer, Moshe, where we generally open up the Torah, the ark with that. That's in the portion, and it's the command that when the Israelites lifted up the ark, those are the words that they would recite, right? Lifting it up. And this is amazing, thousands of years later, as we take out, right, the Torah, if you will, the successor of the tablets of the ark, that we recite these same words. Now, if that doesn't give you chills, right? Same words, thousands of years later, in the sanctity of community. And the Israelites are leaving Mount Sinai, and they're going to have to figure out how do they take the sanctity of that mountain, and how do they take it with them? How do you then transform? You know, when you're standing in front of that mountain, you're feeling pretty sacred. But what happens in the journey? Josh is going to talk a little bit about that. But they wandered for 40 years. And how do you create community that's holy and sacred? Well, that's what the Torah is trying to do, to give them that kind of structure of life, to be able to celebrate as community. And many of the laws are dealt with, by the way, are about honest speech, about being careful with what you say, about honest commerce, because things you have to trust in the society, right? We're experiencing that now a little bit, aren't we, sometimes, where people aren't trusting what's happening in society. Doesn't it undermine everything? Right? You feel like, who do I believe? Who do I trust? And the Torah knew that unless you had honesty and integrity, unless you lived as a community and all had the feeling of a sacred purpose, that society would unravel. And we see that a little bit right now. Well, we're going to be reading the Torah that's guided us for, again, millennia. And so I'm going to call forward Danny and Molly and Joshua, you too, please. Come on forward. You're going to share. You can leave the prayer book there. You're not going to need it. But your parents are going to come up, and Joshua, they're going to share with you some beautiful words, and hopefully your mom will make it through. All right?
Can't even get a word out yet. Okay. Is that good? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Step in. A little bit right there. Go ahead.
Okay. Josh, I am so proud of you for reaching this important milestone in your life. Today is the day you are officially recognized as an adult member of the Jewish community. You started your Jewish schooling later than most, and you have really rose to the challenge and did an incredible job learning Hebrew, all the prayers, and just being a mensch. I know you now have a deeper understanding of what it means to be a Jewish young adult. From this day forward, I hope you are inspired by the wisdom of the Torah as you find your own path to make Judaism your own. As you continue life's journey, I have many hopes and wishes for you. Your mom's a sap. Okay.
You got farther than I thought you would, actually, Mom. That was pretty good.
Okay, the first one is strength. I hope you will always live your life seeing strength as an ability to discover light when the darkness sets in. My wish is that you will be able to admit when you are wrong and listen to those who can teach you what is right. The second one is compassion. While you should always be compassionate towards others, don't ever forget to be compassionate towards yourself. In the words of a Jewish scholar, if one is cruel to himself, how can we expect him to be compassionate to others? The third one is courage. I wish you always have the courage to follow your own path. Do not turn away from fear, as that fear will teach you about courage. The fourth one is joy. You have always brought joy to your family and friends with your humor and funny faces. Surround yourself with people who lift you up and with people that you can be yourself with. The fifth one is to thrive. Whether you are playing sports, drawing, or learning new things, always remember to strive to the best of your ability and always be inspired. Take the time to find your center and set your intentions. The sixth one is love. Always know that you are loved and blessed with all the wonderful things this life has to offer. We all get what we give. Make sure to always give love. As you embrace all these hopes and wishes and move into your teenage years and beyond, remember to move slowly, always be honest, alert and aware, always trust your intuition, laugh often, and be kind. But most of all, just be you. I love you.
Give your mom a hug. She deserves it. All right. All right, Danny, go ahead. Why don't you step forward?
Okay. Josh, son, whoever imagined that we would be standing together wearing masks and gathering with only our rabbi, cantor, and immediate family, while so many of our precious family and friends have to watch us on their computers via Zoom and YouTube. It has definitely been a crazy year leading up to this important simcha in our lives. And as much as you have become a pro at spending time on your computer, this is not how we expected today to be. Rather than just skipping out and using COVID as an excuse, you have risen to this occasion and to your obligation as a young Jewish man. Today, you are leading us all in setting an example for your friends and family, and quite frankly, Josh, for your parents. Josh, I would like to take a moment to express to you how today is a part of a very long tradition for our families. Our grandparents and parents, like others before them, whether they were from Los Angeles, New York, or Israel, have continued this tradition while surviving unbelievable life experiences. All of this so that you could be here today having your bar mitzvah. I was bar mitzvahed at Temple B'nai Haim in the Valley. I recall studying, while not always wanting to, but I still remember my Haftorah and being so nervous before the service. After it was finished, I remember being pinched in my cheek so many times by loved ones. Congratulations on a job well done, just like you today, Josh. This is our first major family simcha without my dad, Papa Ari. I cannot tell you how much I miss him, my dad, and how much you meant to him. I know that he is looking down at us now and that he is proud of you. Nana is here with us. You know how much she loves you and how she has looked forward to today. Grandpa Bernie is watching you right now. You possess so many of his fine qualities. He is proud of the young man that you have become. Grandma Eileen is no longer with us. She truly loved you. We all miss her. Josh, you have Safta Yafa, Saba Mordechai, Papa Sid, Grandma Helen, uncles and aunts all here in spirit today. Another major part of your life is your big sister, Sydney. She has looked after you, even when you didn't want her to. Both of you have grown closer as the years have passed. Soon she will be leaving for college, and I'm sure that you will miss her guiding presence. Josh, you probably do not realize just how special you are. After your mom and I were blessed with Sydney, we tried countless times to conceive another child. The doctors told us that we were unlikely to have any more children. As you can imagine, when mom did get pregnant with you, after so much effort and time, we truly felt blessed to get you. In addition to your amazing baseball skills, you are very natural at all sorts of physical activities. You have always had superior hand-eye coordination. As a small child, you could hit a golf ball so easily. Your ability to complete intricate physical tasks without much effort is a joy to observe. Beyond that, you are truly a sensitive person that cares about other people. You have volunteered for the Champions program to help disabled children play baseball. You also wrote cards to Temple Aliyah's community of caring. They love them as you put a smile on all their faces. All of these fine deeds indicate that your wonderful soul is such a treasure. As your Torah portion teaches us, God is always watching over you as Moses watched over the Israelites and will be with you in the direst of times. My wish for you is that you dream big and know that you can accomplish anything that you set your mind to do. Have faith and know in your heart and soul that you are loved by many, especially your family. Great job today. I'm so excited by what the future holds for you, Josh. I love you.
All right, give your dad a hug. All right, you're going to take now the talit from your parents. All right, and Molly, make sure the microphone's in front of Josh for this. If you don't mind, just, move it over. Thank you.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehitatef b'tzitzit.
Amen. All right, and Sydney, you're going to join us up here now as Hazan Stein calls you all up officially for the Aliyah.
Ya'amdu Daniel ben Aryeh umalka bat Ber v'Sara bat Daniel umalka Rishon.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bahar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Vayidaber Adonai el Moshe lemor, daber el Aharon, v'amarta elav, ve'aloteha et hanerot, el mul penei hamenorah, ya'iru shivat hanerot, vayas kain Aharon, el mul penei hamenorah, Elah nerotecha ka'asher tziva Adonai et Moshe v'zeh ma'aseh hamenorah miksha zaha ad yired ha'ad pirha miksha hi kamar asher her'a Adonai et Moshe Kain asa et hamenorah. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet b'chayei olam nata betoheinu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
All right, Ron and Jackie and Marcus, Stacy and Sandy, you're all going to come forward as the Chazan calls you up officially.
Ya'amdu Ron ben Aryeh ve'Yehudit bat Avraham v'Sara u'Mordechai ben Aryeh ve'Leah bat Nacham Meir v'Sara bat Shmuel she'ani. Baruch Adonai Hamvorach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torah. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Vayidaber Adonai el Moshe lemor, kach et haleviim mitoch bnei Yisrael, v'ticharta otam, v'hota'aseh lahem, letaharam, hazeh alehem, mehatat, v'chaviru ta'ar, al kol besaram, Vehi besu vigdehem, vehi techaru, velakehu par ben bakar, umin hato, solet velulav ashamen, ufar sheni ben bakar, tikach lehatat, vehi kravta et halaviim, lifnei ohel moed. Vehi kalta et kol adat b'nei Yisrael.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam nata betocheinu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
All right, Yasher Koach, everyone, you can put your masks on. You can descend now.
הבחור הבר מצווה יעמוד יהושע בן דניאל ומלכה שלישי חזק חזק.
No, it's just for you, Joshua. Before he actually does his own Aliyah and the blessings in the Torah reading, Josh is going to share with us some of his thoughts on today's portion. Go ahead, slowly and clearly.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
In my Torah portion, the Israelites were in the midst of wandering in the desert. They had left Egypt and were on the way to the promised land of Israel. And on the way, they had to wander for a long time in the desert. During that time, they wanted to maintain their connection to God, so they needed a place to worship and pray. The Israelites built the tabernacle, which was a movable habitat that was used for worship and held the 10 Commandments. The tabernacle was covered by a cloud that represented God's presence and instructed the Israelites when to continue their journey or not. That cloud made the Israelites feel that God was with them. I can relate to feeling that God was with me when I got into a scooter accident. I felt God was with me because I was riding straight down a hill, and then out of nowhere I saw stars. I couldn't feel my head and face. I got scared because I was alone. I knew God was with me because God made me put on a helmet, and if I didn't, I could have died. God saved my life, and I saw his presence with me, just like the cloud represented God's presence when the Israelites were traveling through the desert. As the Israelites were wandering through the desert, they needed a form of communication. Today we have cell phones and computers. However, back then they didn't have that. The Israelites came up with the sounds of tekiah and teruah to help them communicate to everyone what to do as they were traveling through the desert. I don't know what I would do without my phone or computer. They helped me stay in touch with my friends and family. Yelling can only get me so far, and I wouldn't be able to yell to my friends in a different house. Becoming a bar mitzvah has been a dream of mine ever since I was little. Sadly, my grandma Eileen and Papa Ari cannot be here to watch it, but I'm doing everything for them. I know that even though they are not physically here, they are still with me in my heart. I have been practicing my prayers and everything this whole year. Since quarantine started, I've had more time to study, which has made me more confident in myself. Since I am becoming a bar mitzvah, I have become more mature and have become a grown-up with more responsibilities. Some of my responsibilities include being able to go to temple, reading Torah for the community, and even having a part in reading the Megillah on Purim. I am excited to have my own tallit to wear during services. I'd like to thank Heidi Siegel, Hazan Stein, Hazan Mimi, Rabbi Vogel, Rabbi Gokul, and Rabbi Adam. I would also like to thank my amazing parents for always being there for me, helping me through everything and just being them. Dad, you are my role model and you always believed in me. Mom, you are my biggest cheerleader, always showing me the way and helping me get there. Sydney, thanks for always putting up with me and for listening to me practice. My family really helped guide me through this journey of bar mitzvah, and I hope that I can make them proud. Thank you for being my cloud, like the cloud that the Israelites had when they were wandering through the desert. Your support, love, and guidance has helped me become the man who I am today. Love you.
All right. And Joshua's going to now go to the blessings. Molly, did you give candy to throw, right? So those of you who didn't eat it yet, this would be the time to take it out. And at the end of the Aliyah, we'll let you'll know exactly when you're going to shower it lovingly upon him. Joshua, go ahead with the, start the blessing. Go ahead. Shh.
Baruch atah Adonai. Baruch et Adonai Hamevorah.
Baruch Adonai Hambarach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Ambarach Leolam Ba'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam Asher Bahar Banu Mikol Ha'amim Venatan Lanu et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen.
Vehi kravta et halaviim lifnei Adonai v'samechu b'nei Yisrael et yedehem al halaviim v'chenif Aharon et halaviim tenufa lifnei Adonai me'et b'nei Yisrael v'chayu la'avod et avodat Adonai v'halavim yismechu et yedehem al rosh haparim ve'aseh et ha'ehad hatat ve'et ha'ehad ola l'Adonai lechaper al halavim Vehim Ve'amadat et halaviim lifnei Aharon ve'lifnei Vana Ve'chenavta otam tenufa l'Adonai Ve'hibdalta et halaviim mitoch b'nei Yisrael Ve'hayu li halvim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu torat emet v'chaye olam nata betelheinu Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Simen tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, simen tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, simen tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, simen tov, yehelanu, 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 ulechal Yisrael, yehelanu, yehelanu, ulechal Yisrael. David melech Yisrael chai mekayam David melech Yisrael chai mekayam Simen tov, mazel tov, mazel tov Simen tov, mazel tov, mazel tov Simen tov, mazel tov, mazel tov Simen tov, yehelanu.
Those are some great catches there. That was amazing. Just like 1, 2, you were great. You were, I think we can acknowledge you were a little bit nervous up here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you feeling better about now?
Yeah.
Aren't you? There's a great relief. Anybody who's been through a bar bat mitzvah, right, knows that moment, right? Remember? Right? When you finish it on, you just go like this. You go like, woo! And you go, I'm going to be okay. Are you there yet?
Yep.
Great. Josh, I've known your family forever. I think most of my life in terms of going back with your Nana and Papa Ari, who I also think of. And Danny, I know for you it's important to feel his presence, and I hope that you feel it today. certainly is here in the love of his children and grandchildren. And you are an exceptional young man. There are some parents and teachers who have to worry about kids. Like, are you going to make them learn? I got to push them. I got to do it. But not with you. I mean, you seem to, Hazan Mimi, who's not always easily pleased by people, right? She's smiling on the camera, right? But she said that you were fabulous, that you just learned and learned. And the goal here is, as you started to talk about, to feel a holy moment. You felt it in baseball, and hopefully you felt it today. Like the Israelites being at Mount Sinai, you can feel that holiness in the moment. You are at Mount Sinai right now. But like the Israelites who leave and you spoke about, can you take that holiness with you? Can you take it out into the world? That's really the goal. That's what this is about. It's not a culmination, but it's actually a transition into acknowledging the obligations you have, not only as someone who's Jewish, but also to make a difference in the world. Your mom and your dad have tried to model that for you. Connections to community, to synagogue. Your sister, who we're so proud of and has done great as well. You have wonderful support with all of your family here, and to feel that blessing. I want to share a blessing with you, which we actually read this morning in the Torah portion from Naso. It's the blessing that the Levites gave to the people. And it goes like this, Josh. Yavarecha Adonai v'yishmarecha. May God bless you and keep you. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'yichunecha. Josh, may God's presence always shine upon you. Yisad Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. May you bring goodness into this world and help to bring peace. And we all say, Amen. Whew. We're going to continue with our service at this time. And we're going to call forward now. Hold on, I'm going to get this. I switch it around. Alexa and Jonah, right? You're going to come up and open up the ark, please. We're all going to rise together as we return the Torah to the ark. You may be seated for just a moment. The Chatzi Kaddish, page 222.
Yitkada v'yitkada shemei rabba v'yamad divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei v'chayachon uv'yomechon uv'chayedecho beit Yisrael ba'agalau v'zman kariv v'yimeru amen. Yehishmei Rabba Mevarach Le'olam Ula'amei Amaya Yitbarach Yitbarach V'yishabach V'yitpa'ar V'yitramam V'yitnaseh V'yithadar V'yitalev V'yitala Shemei Dekucha Herichu le'ela mikol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata da'amiran be'alma v'yimeru Amen.
We are back in the smaller of the red books, the prayer book, if you haven't made that switch yet. And we're going to now pray the Amidah. We'll be led by Josh. I ask you all to rise, please, beginning on page 223. Page 223. Joshua, you'll lead us, please.
Baruch
Atah Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avoteinu
Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzhak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor Vehanora, El Elyon, Gomel Hasadim Tovim, Vekonei Hakol, Vezocher Hasdei Avot, Umevigo El, Lifnei B'neihem, Lema'an Shemo, Be'ahava, Melech Ozer, Ufoket Umo, Shia Umagen, Baruch Atah Adonai, Magen Abraham, Ufoket Sarah. Ata Gibor Leolam Adonai, Mechaye Metim Ata, Rav Lehoshia, Morid Hatal, Mechalkel Hayim Behesed, Mechaye Metim Berachamim Ravim, Somech Noflim Verofeh Holim, Umatir Asurim, Umachayim Emunato, Lishenei Nafar, Mihamo Aba'al Gevuro, Umito Melach, Melech Memit, Umachayim, Umatzmiach Yeshua, Bene'emanata lahayot metim, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayei chametim.
נקדש שם שלך בעולם, כשם שמקדישים אותו בשמי מרום, ככתוב על יד נביאך, וקרא זה אל זה ואמר,
קדוש, 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 עיני צבאות, מלוך הארץ כבודו.
קדוש, 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 אדוני צבאות, מלוך הארץ כבודו, ליומתם ברוך יאמרו.
ברוך כבוד אדוני ממקומו.
ברוך כבוד אדוני ממקומו, ובדברי קודשך כתוב לאמור.
מלוך לעולם, אלוהי ציון, לדור ודור, הללויה.
לדור ודור נגיד גודלך, ולנצח נצחים קדושתך נקדיש, ושבחך אלוהינו מפינו לא ימוש לעולם ועד, כי המלך גדול וקדוש אתה, ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש.
The Amidah continues in the following pages, Hebrew or English, or if you prefer, private prayers and meditations of your hearts. finished, you may be seated.
עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו אמן. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל.
Page 230, Kaddish Shalom.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמר רבה, ואלמדי ורכילותי ולחמוכותי וחייכון ומכון וחיל כל בית ישראל, בגלה ובזמן קריב ויאמרו אמן. יהי שמרה ומבורך לעולם לעלמי עלמיה יתברך. יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ותשמע ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתעלה, שמי דקודשה בריחו לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, דמירן בעלמה ויאמרו אמן. תתקבל צלותון ותהון לכל בית ישראל, כל דום ועדו שמיעה ויאמרו אמן. יהי שלום רב מן שמיה וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ויאמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו amen.
We rise together for Aleinu, please, page 231, and Josh will lead us.
Aleinu leshabeach la'adon hakol, latet gedula liotzer breshit, shelo asanu kegoye haratzon, velo samanu kemishbechot ha'adama, shelo sam helkenu kahem, Vegor aleinu kevo mamonam, va'anachnu korim umishtahabim umodim lifnei melech malchei hamlachim hakadosh baharuhu shehu noteh shamayim v'yosei haaretz Umoshav ikaron bashamayim imo'o Ushchina tuzo Bego emeromim U Eloheinu ein od Emet malkeinu efes ulato Kakatu betorato וידעת היום וחשבותה אל לבבך כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל ועל הארץ מתחת אין הוד ככתוב בתורתך אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד ונאמר וחיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ
Bayom hahu yeh Adonai echad. Ushemo, Ushemo, Ushemo echad.
All right, Joshua, you can put your mask back on and go join your parents. You may all be seated. This is a moment of remembrance, the mourner's Kaddish on page 232. So if anybody has the obligation or desire to recite these words of remembrance of the Kaddish on page 232, I invite you to rise. And if you're at home and you are reciting Kaddish, we invite you to rise also there and to be able to recite these words along with us. We join those reciting the words, join together. Yit gadal v'yit kadash shemei rabah. Amen. Be'alma divra chirute v'yamlich malchute b'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'chaye dechol beit Yisrael v'galal v'zman kari v'meru. Amen. Yehe shmei rabah mavorach le'olam u'me'omaya. Yitbarach, Yishtabach, Yitpa'ar, Yitromam, Yitnaseh, Yithadar, Yitalev, Yithalal, Shemei de Kudesha, Brichu, Ve'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, Tushbechata v'nechamata, Ve'amiran v'alma v'meru. Amen. Yehe shlama rabba min shemaya, V'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, Meru. Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, Hu yaseh shalom. Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, Meru. Amen. May God who establishes peace in the heavens grant peace and harmony for us, fellow of Israel, and all of humanity, as we say, Amen. Joshua, you're breathing so much easier. You look great. It's fabulous. Did you all enjoy the service today? Well, this is sacred moments. Sacred moments require blessings. And so we're going to do Shechianu. So Danny, Molly, Sydney, and Joshua, I'm going to invite you up here. You can take your masks off. And as they get up here, those of you who are home on live streaming, at the end of this, we'll tell you when you're going to be able to log on to the Zoom link that you have, because the party doesn't stop right here. All right? So we've got a surprise for you. So you'll go on to the Zoom after this blessing. You want to stay to be blessed and to bless them. So tell you what, let's everybody rise. All right? If you have people next to you in your family pod, you can put your arm around them. You can feel the love. If you're alone, feel that love of yourself. Just put your arms around yourself and hug yourself. Here we go.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam שהחיינו וקימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם שהחיינו וקימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה.
Join us for this amen. Here we go. Come on. Keeps going. Come on.
One more time, amen.
Let's hear you all. Come on.
That's
it.
There you go.
Join along. We're going to sing in a moment, but Dylan and Evan, I need help cleaning up all this candy. Will you come and help clean up here? Like, we need the grounds crew out here. Come on out, all right? And we're going to join together. You go on to the Zoom, and we're going to sing Siman Tov Mazel Tov.
Siman tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, siman tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, siman tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, siman tov, yehelanu, 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 ulecho Yisrael, yehelanu, yehelanu, ulecho Yisrael, David melech Siman Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Siman Tov, Siman Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Siman Tov, Siman Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Siman Tov, yeah.